So, commandment number 6, you shall not murder. Now, some translations say that this commandment actually means you shall not kill, but the word in Hebrew that we have for this commandment actually means murder, to hack someone into pieces. It's predetermined thing that you do, you planned it, you executed it, it's a murder. Killing someone is not something that you planned to do, it's something that happened. The best example that I can come up with right now is the the thing that happened in Texas. A madman goes into a church, shoots a bunch of people, and the guards kill him. Now, the man that came in to murder. He planned it, and he executed. But the guards in that church did not plan on killing someone that day. They reacted to something that happened. So it's a different thing. It's self-defense killing, so to speak, whereas the attacker murdered. Now, I know Christians, many of us are pacifists, saying that we should never do anything violent. And they say that that's because Jesus said that we need to be pacifists. Now, first of all, Jesus never said that. Jesus commanded us in New Testament and in Old Testament to defend our families and to defend our communities to death if necessary. Now, Jesus in his Sermon on the Mountains explains the commandments. And you shall not murder can be found in Matthew 5, verses 21 to 22. You have heard that it was said to those of old, you shall not murder, and whoever murders will be liable to judgment. But I say to you that everyone who is angry with his brother will be liable to judgment. Whoever insults his brother will be liable to the council, and whoever says you fool will be liable to the hellfire. So if you're offering your gift at the altar and there remember that your brother has something against you, leave your gift there before the altar and go. Now, what Jesus is saying is essentially that we have all broken the law. We never had a chance of fulfilling the law, because in our hearts we have done everything that these 10 commandments say not to do. It's not to say that we can in somehow fulfill the laws. We cannot. Jesus did that. Jesus is the only way. But what we need to understand is that there is a difference between acting out on self-defense and just acting out. And that's the whole debacle that we have on this commandment. Especially in countries that we have peace, thank God for that. We have a lot of debates whether or not we should do military service, which is mandatory in Finland, and based on the idea that a Christian should be a pacifist. Now, it's a luxury that, for example, people in the Middle East don't have. It doesn't matter if you're a Messianic Jew, you go to the army, you defend your country, and you may need to shoot someone. Or even in States, you can enlist, do your service for 3 years, and you may need to shoot someone. But that's not murder, that's killing, that's defending. That's a huge difference. Now, we have forgotten that we are not to murder anyone in human societies. And the most glaring example of this is abortion. People debate whether or not a fetus is a human being or not. But the fact is that biology says that they are their own individual human being with their own DNA, etc., etc. I'm not a great guy to debate on that, but I know the facts. And The Bible says that every human being is a human being from the moment of conception. So they have human rights. We should not murder them. Even in the laws given to Moses, it said that if you kick a pregnant woman when she's pregnant and the baby comes out and the baby dies, it's murder. So basically that's all we need to know. But let's see what God said to Noah after the flood. And this is Genesis 9, verses 5 onwards. And for your lifeblood I will require a reckoning. From every beast I will require it, and from man. From his fellow man I will require a reckoning for the life of man. Whoever sheds the blood of man, by man shall his blood be shed. For God made man in his own image. Now, why did I take that place? Mainly because a lot of Christians nowadays advocate for dismantling the death penalty. Jesus never did that. So why are we doing that? I know someone is going to say, well, he didn't stone the woman. Yeah, he didn't. Because the law said that the woman and the man was supposed to be stoned. And there was only the woman. That was a trap. A crappy trap at that. And if you know the law of Moses given by God, you would know that it was a trap. But God has been clear from the beginning that if you murder someone, you will pay it with your own blood. There's no way you're around it. The only way around it is humanism. You want to believe that it's inhumane to murder someone, to kill someone who's murdered someone. But it's not inhumane. It's biblical. It's humanism at its best. If someone murders someone, they do not appreciate life, they do not appreciate God, they should be put to death. But the idea of you shall not murder, of course, is that we are not to go out there plan to kill someone who's wronged us and do whatever it takes. That's not the Christian way. The Christian way is to live in peace as long as we have something to say about it. And if peace breaks, we are to defend our families, our communities, with everything we have, like it says, to defend our families and our communities as Christ did for us. And what did Christ do? He died. And he resurrected. We can't resurrect on our own, but if we die, we go to heaven. That's a win-win in my books. But anyways, going on too long, and that's my views on 6th commandment, you shall not murder. If you disagree, you're free to do so, but the Bible is clear on the subject, so take your issues with the Bible, take your issues to the Bible, and let the Bible teach you. But anyways, have a blessed day, and I see you on the next one.